Welcome to the exercise therapy classroom. I'm Shubhanyan from the School of Health Sciences, Garden City University, and in this video we are going to discuss measurement of limb length. First of all, why do you need to measure a limb length? If there is any discrepancy between one leg with the other, to find out how much is the problem and where exactly is the problem, we must measure the limb length. You can measure the limb length of the upper limb as well as lower limb. There are certain parameters or certain detailings you must know while measuring limb length. First, there are three types of limb length. One is true length, another is apparent length, and the third one is segmental length. True length is the distance between two fixed bony prominences. They are the gold standard of limb length measurement. Segmental length is the length of a specific segment, whether it is arm or forearm, femur or leg. Segmental length will tell you which particular bone has a length difference. Apparent length is the distance between any two anatomical landmarks. Why is that important? Because sometimes there is not actual shortening, but there is apparent shortening. For example, if the hip is hiked on one side, when both the legs are equal, you will feel like one leg is shortened, and this can be found out by measuring the apparent length. Now the fixed landmarks for measuring the limb length. True length, lower limb, is measured from ASIS to the medial malleolus. Why medial malleolus and why not lateral malleolus? Because lateral malleolus belongs to fibula, which is a non-weight bearing bone. True length of the upper limb is measured from the acromion process till the radial styloid process. Apparent length is more important in lower limb, so we do not usually measure the apparent length of the upper limb. In lower limb, how do you measure the apparent length? You measure it either from umbilicus to the medial malleolus or from xiphisternum to the medial malleolus. Now measuring the segmental length. To measure the segmental length of femur, you measure the distance between greater trochanter to the lateral knee joint line. To measure the segmental length of tibia, you measure from the medial knee joint line to the medial malleolus. For arm, what you measure is the tip of the acromion process to the lateral epicondyle. For forearm, you measure it from the lateral epicondyle to the radial styloid process. Last thing, before measuring the lower limb length, we must ensure that there is no pelvic hiking involved. Because if the pelvis is hiked, as we have discussed, measurement of the limb length will go haywire. To neutralize any pelvic hiking, the process we follow is called as pelvic squaring. Basically, that is to ensure the distance between the umbilicus and each ASIS is at equal distance. See you in the next class. Thank you.